Hello, wonderful person. You have now entered the Fact Factory. Special shout out to the subscribers and returners. And a warm welcome to all new viewers. This is 20 facts that sound like lies. Now, let's get started. Sea stars are famous for their ability to regenerate limbs, and in some cases, entire bodies. When split into two or more pieces, provided that each piece retains enough of the center disc, each piece of a starfish will grow into a new, individual starfish. It's called asexual reproduction. This in starfish takes place by fission or through autotomy of arms. In fission, the central disc breaks into two pieces, and each portion then regenerates the missing parts. Alcohol kills more people than all illegal drugs combined. About 2.5 million people die worldwide each year from alcohol-related causes. In the US, an estimated 95,000 people die from alcohol-related causes annually, making alcohol the third leading preventable cause of death. Horses cannot breathe through their mouths. A horse can only breathe through its nostrils. Unlike humans, the nasal passages in the horse are separated from the oral cavity. Horses only breathe through their mouths if they have an injury or abnormality to the soft palate that separates the mouth from the nasal passages. Giraffes can go without water for longer than camels. Giraffes like acacia leaves that contain a lot of water. Camels can survive up to 15 days without water. Giraffes can actually last up to 21 days, or 3 weeks, without a sip. When they do drink, they've been known to down 54 liters in one sitting. Tomatoes are a fruit. Per phytologist, a fruit is an entity that develops from the fertilized ovary of a flower. This means that tomatoes, squash, pumpkins, cucumbers, peppers, eggplants, corn kernels, and bean and pea pods are all technically fruits. So are apples, pears, peaches, apricots, melons and mangoes. Watching horror movies can help boost weight loss. If you want to lose weight fast, you might want to consider a marathon of horror films. Sure, we know a physical run can get your heart beating fast, but horror movies have a similar effect. Fear and adrenaline increase our heart rate, boosting how much calories we burn. However, lack of sleep can slow down our metabolism and cancel out the effect, so this isn't recommended for people who easily have nightmares. The first thing ever sold on the internet was a bag of weed. Nowadays, e-commerce is a dominant market. Who wouldn't want to get anything at the click of a button? However, you'd be surprised that the earliest sale transaction on the internet was of weed. Recorded in the 70s, the stash was negotiated between Stanford and MIT students. Being on time is rude in Venezuela. Tardy people can rejoice. While some cultures such as the Japanese practice extreme punctuality, usually arriving an hour before the meeting time, Venezuelans consider anything less than 15 minutes late to be rude. For Venezuelans, arriving on the dot or even a few minutes before means you're too eager and greedy. Bananas can't reproduce. The bananas we all know and love are in fact a hybrid of two other plant species. It has no seeds and has only been able to reproduce with the aid of farmers who remove and transplant part of the plant stem in order to create our staple yellow fruit. Cell phones are full of bacteria. While it's unlikely that they cause cancer or spark a fire at a gas station, as popular lore might suggest, mobile devices have been found to be loaded with bacteria. According to some research by British scientists, the average cell phone carries 18 times more potentially harmful germs than the toilet handle in a men's restroom. So, when was the last time you disinfected your phone? If our content is enjoyable, please reward us with a like, share, and subscribe. We are also located on TikTok and IG. To become a supporter of the channel, visit patreon.com/thefactfactory. Anything helps and everything is much appreciated. Now, let's continue. Spending just a few months in Antarctica can shrink your brain. If you ever take a trip to Antarctica, be sure to do as much socializing as you possibly can and come up with stimulating ways to keep yourself busy. Research published explained that brain imaging in 8 polar expeditioners, before and after 14 months of isolation, showed that the volume of parts of the brain was lower than before. Researchers believe the changes in the brain they observed are the result of environmental monotony and prolonged isolation. Naps could save your life. Research has found that a midday nap can make you more creative, focused, and fresh for the rest of the day. One study also found that they can also reduce your risk of heart attack. Specifically, those who regularly nap were found to be 37% less likely to die from a heart attack or other coronary ailment than those who worked straight through the day. The kangaroo mouse never needs to drink water. Despite being named after an Australian animal, the kangaroo mouse lives in the Nevada desert. And since it resides in such a dry area, it's learned to adapt by getting all of the hydration it needs via the seeds it eats, which are mostly mesquite beans and grass seeds. The nonsense phrase "Yumapapisn" is upside down, spelled upside down. Go ahead and flip whatever device you're reading this on upside down and check out those first 2 words again. You'll see that Yumapapisn does indeed spell upside down using almost entirely different letters of the alphabet. Butt-shaped robots are used to test phones. If you've ever put your phone in the back pocket of your pants, you're probably aware that your backside poses a danger to it. People often forget their phone is there when they sit down, which can result in a crushed and broken device. That's why Samsung uses butt-shaped robots to test their products. These robots, called the faux bums, sit on Samsung phones over and over again to test durability and bending. Every mammal has the same number of neck vertebrae. Whether it's a giraffe, a mouse, or a human, each mammal has exactly 7 vertebrae in its neck. But there are 2 exceptions to this rule. Sloths and manatees. 2-toed sloths have 5 to 7 neck vertebrae, and 3-toed sloths have 8 or 9. Manatees only have 6, according to research published in 2011. Amish people tend to reject modern ways, but despite that, there is still a computer made specifically for the tech-wary group. The key selling point, perhaps not surprisingly, is all the things the computer doesn't do. No internet, no video, no music. So then what is it used for? Basic business, and only business. In general, the Amish are more willing to adopt new technology if they can justify it for business reasons and they can keep it out of the home, only then it's considered acceptable. Newborn babies don't cry tears. Tear ducts don't fully develop in infants until they are 1 to 3 months old, making it impossible for babies to shed actual tears for the first few months of their life. Most babies start crying around 2 weeks of age, others can take a little longer. No wonder they have to express their emotions by crying loudly. Celebrities are known for giving their children unique names. Some A-lister kid names include Gravity, Pilot Inspector, Apple, and of course, North, Saint, and Chicago. But you don't have to be famous to opt for an unexpected moniker. According to an article, a couple once tried to name their child BRFXXCCLLMNPRXVCLMNCKSSQLBB11116, which, apparently is pronounced Albin. They had reportedly chosen the title to protest Sweden's strict name-related laws. which is why it may not be surprising that their selection was rejected. Clams have feet. Yes, you heard that right, clams have feet. 1 foot to be exact. While it might look like clams have a big tongue that sometimes protrudes from their shell to poke around the ocean floor, it's actually a foot. They open their shell enough to stick their foot out and shuffle their way into the sand where they hide from predators. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching. For more, check out our latest video on animals hunted to extinction or binge watch our playlist, 20 Facts That Sound Like Lies. Don't forget to check us out on our social medias. And as always, I'm already looking forward to seeing you again in the next one.